So it's
This meeting of the board is now called to order. Please join with us and pledge allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everyone to our meeting tonight. We'll get started by approving our agenda. There's a motion on page 2, please.
Mr. President, I move that the Board of Education approve the agenda as printed.
Thank you, Terry. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor of approving the agenda as printed, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The motion passes. We'll move forward with our agenda as printed and start with the superintendent's report. Dan?
All right, thank you, President Van Antwerp. Opening our report is our bond project update by our Assistant Superintendent Wes Gervers, and then joining him will be our Communications Manager, Michelle Karpinski, to talk a little bit about our 2025 bond work as well.
Superintendent Edwards, members of the board, go over the bond update, but before that, I just want to thank you all you guys that made it over to the Central Elementary Open House. It was a great night. Speakers, you guys did amazing. It was a lot of fun, a lot of community presence. You can see a lot of pride in the community as they walk through the building. With that being said, Haverhill's Open House is this week, Thursday, the 11th, at 6 p.m. Hopefully we'll be able to see you there. So with the update, I'm pleased to say both buildings, Haverhill and Central Elementary, opened on time with our students being able to attend the first day of school, and the students have been enjoying the space for the last 2 weeks. The excitement in the kids' eyes as they learn new procedures with the building and everything has gone really well. OAK will be there for the next few months, finishing up punch list items, things that weren't quite right that we had them redo. So they'll be doing that for the next 6 months. And then the building will also undergo commissioning by Physics. It's an organization that comes in and basically plays with the building management system to make sure the HVAC's working as the best it possibly can, the AC, electrical, and all that stuff. It's just testing all those to make sure they are running smoothly. So that's what's going on. Central and Haverhill, I think they're going pretty good. Happy to have kids in the building, and just makes the building a little more fun when you got kids in there. Woodland Elementary, as you know, the building is gone. Mass earthwork is completed now, so you'll see there's still piles of dirt here and there. That's because they're digging the footings and pouring the walls for the building to be built on. So the building is currently built, broken into 3 construction phases, I like to say. There's the A wing, the B wing, and the C wing, and they do that so as they do construction, like they do the foundation, and then they move from, right now they did foundation B. Don't ask me why they started with B, but they started with B. They'll move the foundation, go to A or C next. And after they leave, then the bricklayers will come in, the masons will come in and start putting masons up. So right now they have the unit B is done with the foundation and the walls. So in the next week or so, you'll see the masons come in, start laying block on foundation B, while the crew that does the foundation moves to unit A. And then they'll kind of rotate in that circle as they go around, and you'll start seeing parts of the building get built up as they go. But I know it's going to be a great process. The goal is to get it fully enclosed and everything by the end of June. Hopefully we'll get a roof on it, and then we can start the interiors. So that's kind of what they're shooting for right now. But you'll start seeing it coming out of the ground. It'll get exciting when you start seeing it come up. So yeah, so that's kind of where Woodland is. We do have a couple summer projects that were completed. The Community High Early Childhood Center, they got a new roof this past summer. The last roof was definitely end of life for sure, so it was time. So they got a new roof replaced this summer. That is complete. And then they also gained a new boiler system in their building. Their last boiler was pretty much probably original to the building, so it was definitely time for that boiler to be replaced. They should be firing that thing up within the next week or so. Make sure all the testing and everything works out as we start approaching the cold season. This morning was not, it didn't get cold in there. The nice thing is our buildings do maintain their heat pretty well. So they weren't cold this morning, but 41-degree day. Let's hope those don't happen too often until we get that boiler up and running. But that should be fired up in the next week or so. And then the last thing that's going on, if you go by Lake Center Elementary at night, they're doing a lighting project there. So they're taking out all the fluorescent lights, turning them over to LED lights, and they're also putting a new lighting management system in there. That's taking place after hours, obviously, because we don't want them in there with the kiddos interrupting their learning time. So you'll be seeing OAKs running that project. They have a construction manager on site during it all, but that'll be taking place after hours throughout the school year until that project is done. That's it with the building updates. We do have a November 4th bond coming up. I'm going to hand it over to Michelle here. Her and her team have been working tirelessly on the bond material, getting it ready to go out to the community, as well as trying to get the advertising all the cool stuff starting at the start of the school year. So they've been super busy. But I'm going to hand it over to Michelle to go over all the cool things that they are putting together to get out to the community.
Thanks, Russ. So over the summer, we did kind of trickle out some of the information about the bond, but now that school's underway, we're full on push forward to really get the information out there. Starting with the first postcard that went out earlier this month to encourage people to get their absentee ballots and stuff. Some of the other things we have planned, I just have a couple images. Oh, sorry. There we go. Just a couple images to share with you, just so you get a flavor for what the materials look like and everything. So this is actually going to be the electronic billboard on Westnedge by Meyer. That'll be rotating through the whole month of October, right up until the bond vote. We're planning district extra, school newsletters, school news feeds. One of the things we're really trying to focus on is the why. I think that's really important to let the community know why we're going back for this bond. So that's going to be very much part of what we're doing. Of course, we've got a series of social media posts that will go out over the time. What we've done is we've taken the long video that we produced with Johnny, and that's on our website currently on the bond page. And we've split it up into segments, kind of answering the different questions you see on the board there. And those will be social media posts. We'll have the kind of the question, we'll have a little piece of video that answers that question, and we'll be rotating those through between now and the vote. So people have a chance, they will repeat often, so people will have a chance to see them. We'll mix in there the entire video as well. We're hoping that we can get that maybe played on the big screen at the football team. That was Russ's idea, so at the football game. So we're going to talk to the ADs about that. We do have a pretty robust radio schedule that will be going out with information about the bond. That'll be on WKFR, WKZO, and WIN. So we think we're going to hit all the demographics with those. Another postcard will go out mid-October, early to mid-October, just encouraging people to vote. And we will have some informational nights at the new buildings for staff so that they can come and see what those that maybe have not been in there already, so they can come and see what the building's all about, and hopefully get people excited about that their building will be like that, be similar as well. We're going to do an information table. We're planning to do an information table at the PNPC game because we'll have little flyers to pass out because we figured the whole community is going to be there. So we felt that was a good place to do that. We'll do a second run of radio. So we'll do one in September and then another in October. Another informational night. We're planning to get Johnny on WKZO to do some live interview with Ken Lanphier, and let's see what else, Peach Jar, and then we're going to use our text alerts system very judiciously, but we wanted to use it twice. Once to kind of put a push notification out on the app and through text that absentee voting is now underway, to remind people to do that, and then we'll do a similar one the day before the election to encourage people to get out and vote the next day. And like I said, a lot of the attention is going to be kind of to the why we are putting this before voters, so they kind of understand the position that we're in. So, other than that, if you have any questions, I'll happy to try to answer them for you.
Not questions, but I've had a couple people call me and ask and explain that new schools didn't mean we were opening new elementary schools. It meant that we were updating the ones we had. And that was, I kind of went, oh, I didn't understand that. So that was cool. I was surprised at the people who didn't realize that we had community high on there as needing additional facilities. A couple people, when I explained that, went, oh, then I'm definitely going to vote for this.
Right, yeah, and that's
that pretty amazing. That was a great turnaround to see.
That's awesome. Yeah, I would have you encourage people to go to our website and look at that
I
bond
did.
video, because it does a really good job of explaining kind of not only, what we need to complete, and we're using the tagline, finishing the job. We want to finish the job. So, but then it also does address some of the, I would call them newer things that, we also want to address down the line. So I think, and again, the idea behind breaking that video apart into chunks is so we can get that repetition. And, I went to a social media conference this summer and they said, the average attention span on any kind of a video post is like 10 seconds. So we're trying to make sure we get the message out. The old adage in marketing is somebody needs to see something 7 times before it'll start to sink in. So we're going to make sure that happens.
I did refer them to the website, and their comments were, this is awesome.
That's what
In general,
we're
it
here.
was some variation of being very impressed by the website. So thank you for doing such an excellent job with that.
Well, Kayla gets a lot of credit for the website. She does a lot of that visual stuff, and so make sure we recognize her as well.
The school looked great for the ribbon cutting at Central, and community members who were in that building for the first time were just blown away. They were really impressed with what was there, and a number of them indicated that they were there to see just what their money paid for, and that they were anxious to vote for the next bond because they thought the school was done really well. So they were pleased. So that was from numerous folks I ran into that night. So.
And of course, they'll get another chance at Haverhill Thursday night. We'll have a summer program, and we're excited to show that building off as well. And to be able to show the community that while the buildings have similarities, they definitely have their unique personalities as well. We didn't want to just, I know you've talked about a lot, we didn't want to do just the cookie cutter. So that's a nice thing for the community to see and understand, as well as they look forward to the additional elementaries we would like to complete.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Just want to say thank you to our entire staff for opening day and opening week. We had a lot of professional development going on throughout the district. We had a great speaker, Joe Sanfilippo, who's a national speaker who did a great job in 1 hour. But essentially, we had a great kickoff and a great start to our school year. And as I kind of mentioned in my 90-day plan, my goal was to get to all the schools in the first week. And that's a 3.5-day week. And so I was able to make a round one appearance at all 14 schools, and have subsequently gone back to get some more time in our spaces.
Great. Thank you. We'll move on to our comments and communications section. I believe we have one speaker tonight. Cap Frink is here. Welcome.
Good evening, trustees and Superintendent Edwards. I'm Kat Frink, Portage Education Association President, back again this year to share some more positive things our amazing educators are doing throughout the district. This week, I had the chance to walk through the new Central Elementary. Last time I was there, it was just drywall being put up. The building looks fantastic. Teachers were already using the common spaces, and I saw lots of collaboration happening with those window walls open. It's great to see the design working so well for many of us. Over at Haverhill, Mark Hageman said his new music room is already making a difference for students. The soundproofing and paneling have created a much more welcoming space, especially for kids with sensory sensitivities. And with the new instruments, students are able to make music together as a whole class instead of taking turns. He's seen more participation and more chances for students to engage and perform all together. I want to share some exciting news from World Language. This year, 123 students earned the Michigan Seal of Biliteracy. 15 of them are multilingual learners who earned it based on their experiences outside the U.S. or in multilingual homes. The other 108 earned it by reaching an intermediate mid-level proficiency, the equivalent of a 5 on the standard level IB exam or a 4 on the higher level IB exam. Families will be getting their certificates soon if they haven't already. We're really proud of these students and all the work they've done, and a huge thank you to all of our world language teachers for their dedication. Lastly, I know it's on your agenda to talk about tonight in closed session. I'm happy to share that our tentative agreement passed a membership vote today with a 96% approval rating. Having been on the bargaining team in past years, I know how much work that is. I'd like to thank both teams for their time, effort, and collaboration throughout the summer on this agreement. Thanks. Make sure I'm not giving you the tests I was grading.
Thank you very much, Kat. Thanks for sharing that vote. Thank you. Are there any comments by board trustees this evening?
Just a quick one for me. I just wanted to let the other board members know that Joanna Rourke, who's Texas Township Supervisor, is going to, on our behalf, present a little summary of the talking points of in support of the bond at the trustee meeting there tonight, just to get people in Texas Township thinking about voting and voting for the bond. And unfortunately, their trustee meetings are the exact same nights as ours all the time. So she said, well, I'll read something and then it'll be in our minutes. So she just wanted to get that started.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Real quick, Johnny, I really enjoyed the picture of you with your younger twin that was shared on social media. That was amazing to see. Very much fun, especially the untucked shirt on the little fellow. Teachers, welcome back. I've enjoyed talking to some of the teachers as they've started the new year, and it's been really good to talk to them. I've really enjoyed that. But my biggest thing that I wanted to say is congrats to those who have received roles after auditioning for some of the fine arts productions that are coming out. I am very excited to attend those and see them.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Randy, first, Johnny, I wanted to thank you for the opening day and the personal touch that you gave to that presentation. And I thought it was touching and it was effective. So that was great. Kat, thank you for coming to these meetings and making sure what we did on some of the really positive things that your colleagues are doing and the positive things going on in the buildings. Really appreciate that. And then a final comment from the Central L ribbon cutting. What I thought was really neat was I saw at least 3 generations, and maybe there were 4 generations of people there. So it wasn't just students and parents, but it was grandparents. And I ran into at least one person who, in his 70s, lived in the neighborhood and had to check out this community asset. So people of all ages were there to see what's going on. And we, we have kids that we educate, and they have parents, but this board exists for them and for everybody in the community who owns these schools. That includes everybody. So it was a great night.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'll just add, I thought it was so well orchestrated that the way that, I don't know if you did that, Michelle, or, but Johnny and Randy and Kelly, and the whole thing just went together so well, and it was really professional. So I think the community could be not just proud of the building, but proud of the people that are the faces of our district. So good job.
Thanks, Terry. Anyone else? Okay. You have a thank you at your place from Mark Beaton. And I was negligent in getting that to you in a timely manner. I've had it since the beginning of August, and I forgot to take it out of my briefcase. So I just wanted to make that clear that he was very timely. It was me that was late. So anyway, we'll move on to our consent agenda. We only have minutes to approve tonight, the August 18th, 2025 special meeting, closed session, and regular business meeting. Are there any exceptions to the consent agenda as presented? Hearing none, the consent agenda is approved. And we'll move to assurance of district performance. We have 2 monitoring reports tonight. The first one is 2.6, asset protection. There's a motion on page 10, please.
Mr. President, I move that the Board of Education accept Monitoring Report 2.6, Asset Protection, as a reasonable interpretation and evidence of compliance with policy.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Johnny?
Thank you, President Van Antwerp. This is my first opportunity to report on monitoring reports. 2.6 is our asset protection. I do not want to read it in its entirety. I just want to highlight a few areas. So subsection 3, it says that the superintendent shall not subject facilities and equipment to improper wear and tear or insufficient maintenance. On page 15, just wanted to highlight the fact that we've saved approximately $12.6 million through our energy cost program, our energy conservation program through May of 2025. Another highlight I wanted to share is last school year when we purchased those 5 school buses, one of them came with air conditioning, and so that was a nice addition to our fleet for this past summer. Moving over to subsection 5, area B, it basically says the superintendent shall not make any purchase where that amount exceeds 5 times the number of dollars over the state of Michigan, their threshold. That threshold is now approximately $30,000, a little more than that. But essentially, in my interpretation, 5 times that amount raises that our threshold to $150,000, in which we would take extra precaution to make sure we're not above that amount. Also, in area subsection 6 talks about the school district should not allow intellectual property, information, and files to be inadequately protected from piracy, loss, theft, electronic data breach, or from suffering significant damage. One of the pieces I do want to highlight on page 19, at the top under number 2, our tech team under Dr. Ryan Miller has added 2-factor authentication now as required for all employees. I think that went into effect officially this past week, and therefore we have some extra protections under student data now that we have this 2-factor authentication. Also, that's becoming a norm with all of our personal devices, particularly around banking and emails as well. So I want to highlight that. And then subsection 8 talks about our ratings. Below our report in the second area, there's a reference to our district audit. Our district audit is verified as of fiscal year 2024, and that information has been provided in the past through Paula Johnson in our business department. Just with the timing of this report, this may be something we consider moving back a little bit because it's kind of going back 2 school years instead of 1. Fiscal year 25 audit will be complete in the coming months. So that's just one that I may consider work with the board to maybe move around a little bit so that we're not going back 2 school years or 2 fiscal years. And then the last area I just wanted to represent is highlight is under subsection 10 on page 21. The superintendent shall not change the organization's name, logo, or substantially alter its identity in the community. And so our communications team has done a great job with working to incorporate our tagline of every student, every future, and the new color scheme, tagline, and logos was fully implemented this summer 2025. So that concludes my monitoring report for monitoring report 2.6.
Any questions for Johnny?
No.
Well done.
Sure was. Good report, Johnny. All those in favor of approving monitoring report 2.6, asset protection, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion passes and the monitoring report is approved. Our next monitoring report is communication and support to the board. There's a motion, please, on page 23.
Mr. President, I move that the Board of Education accept a monitoring report 2.1 as 0, communication and support to the board as a reasonable interpretation and evidence of compliance with policy.
Thank you, Mark. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Johnny?
I want to highlight just a couple of areas from monitoring report 210. One, subsection 1 talks about the superintendent shall not neglect to submit monitoring report data required by the board. And I just want to highlight in my report that at our July 2025 board retreat, I spoke in the affirmative that I will keep the monitoring report schedule the same for the 25-26 school year. So there will be no, deviations from the previously agreed upon schedule. Also in subsection 5, talks about making sure that the superintendent shall not deny the board access to or being uninformed by a range of relevant perspectives, including staff viewpoints and so on. And just over the past 12 months, which obviously precedes my time as superintendent, the board has been brought into information related to a number of topics, from food service to school safety, all the way down to our budget planning for the 25-26. So just hats off to all of those who have contributed to those reports over the course of the past 12 months. And then lastly, just want to highlight one element under subsection 10, 10C particularly. It speaks about a report on the niche rankings. And I wanted to share with the board, giving that addition to our niche ratings, that we will provide those niche ratings after monitoring report 1-1. Once you have an opportunity to see kind of the full picture of all the work submitted or data submitted, then we'll provide that information at that time and subsequently on an annual basis. So that concludes my report for monitoring report 210.
Any questions for Johnny?
I just had one comment. The policy, the 2.10.2, talking about policies aren't being followed. I just wanted to bring up, previously I questioned whether we were following the policies 5410 and 5112. And I just wanted to say I appreciated the conversation we had as a board a few weeks ago. I appreciate your willingness to take the time to meet with us, hear us, share your opinions. So I know it's busy with the beginning of the school year, you had everything going on with your big opening day. I just look forward to continuing that discussion on those policies in the near future as we're moving forward together. So with that, I've already said I accept the monitoring report, but I just wanted to point that out as well.
Thank you.
Anything else? Very good. All those in favor of approving monitoring report 2.10, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The motion passes. The monitoring report's approved. Next, move to our required action item, MASB Delegate Assembly Representative. And I believe I let everybody know that I was willing to do that again because I'm going to be at the Fall Leadership Conference. Is there anyone who'd be willing to serve as an alternate?
I wish I could. I will be attending the conference, but cannot be there Thursday evening.
Okay.
Since I will be leaving immediately following work to get up there as quickly as I can on Thursday.
Totally understand. Totally understand. Well, very good. We'll have a motion then to approve me as the delegate, and we won't have an alternate this year. Would somebody offer a motion, please?
Sure, Mr. President. I move that the Board of Education certify the following delegate, Randy Van Antwerp, for the 2025 Michigan Association of School Boards Delegate Assembly.
Nice job, Mary Lou. Thank you. Is there a second?
Second?
Thank you. All those in favor of the MASB Delegate Assembly Representative, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion passes. Our next action item is new teacher appointments, and Brad's going to help us with that.
Good evening, Superintendent Edwards, trustees. As promised last month, I am back. But next month, I should not be here for this purpose. Because I am happy to say, with these, we are full with all of our teacher vacancies right now. So I think we're one of the only large districts in the area that can say that. So I'm really pleased to be able to be up here and let you know that. So bringing to you these 5 people here. I will point out the bottom one. Heidi Thorpe is actually returning to us, so she was previously with us at one time. And that's actually, we got that resignation for that role the day before school started, and we have that in. So kudos to Dr. Gordon and her team and ESI for moving quickly to get that filled, and we'll be welcoming Ms. Thorpe back to the district here in a couple of weeks after she finishes up what she's doing right now, so.
Very good, Brad. Thanks for filling all the vacancies in such a timely manner. We appreciate it a lot. There's a motion, please, on page 36 to welcome these fine people to Portage Public Schools.
Mr. President, I move that the Board of Education approve the appointment of the following teachers for Portage Public Schools. Shannon St. Amour, Healthy Living teacher at North Middle School. Caroline Wildeston, 4th grade teacher at Amberley Elementary. Jennifer Leone, PE teacher at Kalamazoo Country Day School and St. Michael's. Alexis Keene, 3rd grade teacher at Woodland Elementary, and Heidi Thorpe, speech language pathologist at Lake Center Elementary.
Thank you, Terry. Is there a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor of approving the new teacher appointments, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes and the new teacher appointments are approved. Our next item is to discuss our collective bargaining strategy. There's a motion on page 36 to take us into or 38 to take us into the closed session. Is there a motion, please?
Mr. President, I move that the Board of Education move into closed session to discuss collective bargaining strategy as allowed under the Open Meetings Act 15.268, Section 8C.
Thank you, Mark. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. And Mr. Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Rohr?
Yes.
Mrs. Crawford?
Yes.
Mrs. Zamaria?
Yes.
Mr. Van Antwerp?
Yes.
Mr. Schneider?
Yes.
Ms. Larson? Yes. Dr. Stevens?
The motion is approved, and we'll be going into closed session in this room, I take it? Okay, very good, and we expect to come out after closed session to go back into open session to take action. Thank you.